Extraction water from a routine clean comes back nearly black, proof the mess sits deeper than a budget cleaner reaches. A first-pass removal rate settles that. Every product mentioned is linked in the description below. Tap in for today's price and any active discount.
Bissell has just come out with a brand new carpet and upholstery cleaner, and that is right here. This is the Bissell Little Green HydroSteam. And I'm sure you guys guessed with that name, this thing is a steamer, steam extraction. Now, not a lot of companies offer anything like this. There are a couple ones that are extremely expensive, so I was really excited to check this thing out. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing, and then we will check out all the components that it comes with. Green Pro. So I really like this little attachment. Again, pricing guys, let's talk about that really quickly. The Bissell Spot Clean Pro comes in around $165, $175. This little guy came in at $220, $229, something like that. So about $50 more. Is that justified? I would say yes, for sure, because of that steam feature. I think it's really cool. Obviously, the heating element to create a steam like that.
Specs and pricing only say so much. The real test happens in someone's actual living room, not a lab.
And with that last hydro rinse, we are done with our cleaning solution. Pretty much done. You know what that means. It's time to see the reveal. You guys ready for this? Because I'm super excited, especially after doing Ollie's bed. Can't believe how, and then you even have a thing to keep it in place. So design, ease of use, I give it 9 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. I did wish at times that this nozzle was a lot bigger to cover more surface area. I just felt like going back and forth like that so many times on such a small nozzle wasn't very efficient. In terms of satisfaction level, that water pour was...
One satisfied household is a single data point. Independent lab testing multiplies that by dozens of stains and 4 competing machines.
The 4th place finish. The Ribbon finished in 3rd place, just ahead of the Shark. The very affordable Vacmaster finished in 2nd place with a mustard stain. And the winner for this competition at removing the mustard stain is the Bissell HydroSteam. It did by far the best job. Comparing the 12th place StarryBot to the HydroSteam, and there's a huge difference in performance. So which brand is the best? The left side of the chart includes some basic information about each spot cleaning machine that was not included in calculating the winner of this review. I converted the data on the right side of the chart into a first through last place ranking for the graded areas of this review. And the Bissell HydroSteam came out on top with the best average finish of 2nd place. It finished in 1st place in 3 out of 5 categories of testing. While it is the most...
Project Farm crowns a stain removal winner on pure cleaning power. The next reviewer weighs that win against motor specs and sticker price instead.
This one, now you've got that really bad pet stain that you can take over and rinse out just with that. Now, as far as cleaning a stain, I felt like the Little Green Pro with this attachment, the deep stain tool, did the absolute best job, but they all did a really good job. They had good suction. They all 4 put a lot of liquid down. Okay, so we cleaned the hose out of all 4 of them. So these 2 machines both have 5.7 amps. Yeah, they both have a 5.7 amp motor. The Hoover Clean Slate has a 3.5 amp motor. And the Bissell Green machine has 2.75 amp motor. Attachment, but it's the same machine also. And again, these exactly the same machine with just different attachments that serve different purposes. These are definitely clean a lot better, but they're a lot bigger and bulkier. And the Bissell Spot Clean Pro and the Little Green Pro, these are typically going to be about $20 to $40 higher.
Amperage and price explain what a machine costs, not what it removes. The first pass number that settles this argument is still ahead once stain chemistry enters the test.
You can see how long it takes. So I just use the steam as a pre-treat actually. The HydroSteam really shines on things like orange juice because it has a high sugar content, and even though it's acidic so it can really go down deep in the carpet fibers, we didn't let it really dry that long, so it's only been about 30 minutes since we poured the orange juice onto this carpet. Gonna reach about 20 pounds. So here is the tool. The deep stain tool is my favorite tool that you can get on any of the Bissells, and that's because it directly injects the solution into the fibers of your carpet upholstery, and it does a great job just combing for water and extracting as much water as possible every time. However, I found it interesting that it performed the best with ketchup.
No single tool wins every stain. Wine resists both machines equally. That inconsistency is exactly what the overall verdicts still have to settle.
Bissell Little Green machine. You basically just have to wait until it's dry.
So ultimately, who was our winner? Well, it was a really close call, but the Little Green HydroSteam is our winner, but the Little Green Pro was a close second. The HydroSteam and the Little Green Pro are basically going to be equal for wet messes, and that's a good thing because stain striker. And let's go. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, but you can see the overall performance. It does a great job in terms of suction power, and it adds a lot of formula without having you to replace the tank. It's not that liberal in terms of the use of the formula though, so like that because you're still getting a great performance without using so much solution.
A 90% first pass rate is hard to beat, but this lineup still has a clear loser on suction alone.
Then the Shark, and that 7-inch cleaning tool does make easy work of larger stains, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to get it fully out. What I noticed about the Hoover is that it is easy to use, but in terms of overall effectiveness, out of the three, it did the worst job removing all the stains. With the Hoover, we ended up not having to use as much solution as the Shark for about the same effectiveness.
Testers largely agree steam end injection machines like the Little Green Pro and HydroSteam clean deepest, especially on protein and oil stains. What's still unsettled is whether that extra cost matters for occasional light-duty use. Bottom line, for portable spot carpet cleaners, testers agree steam end injection models clean deepest, though the right tier still depends on your stains and budget. Every clip links to the full video in the description. Go watch the originals. This is educational content, not professional advice.